presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. From Al Houghton Stadium in Stevie, San Bernardino, California. This is a Northwest Region matchup as Coeur d'Alene, Idaho takes on Billings, Montana. 6 teams began play in the Northwest Region. 3 of the 6 are still alive. Here's a look at the 6 that made it initially. Still alive: Idaho, Montana, and Oregon. The winner of this game between Idaho and Montana moves to the regional championship game on Saturday at ESPN. The loser's not finished. They will play an elimination game against Oregon tomorrow. Look at our Little League at a glance. You will see primarily 12 and 13-year-olds. This field is a 46-foot pitching distance, 60 feet between the bases, and there is minimum mandatory play. We're glad you could join us from Southern California, along with former big league first baseman JT Snow. I'm Mark Neely. Both these teams, JT, 2 wins away from the magical trip to Williamsport.
Yeah, they've been grinding for over a month now through districts, regionals, and states. They find themselves 2 wins away from the ultimate prize, a trip of a lifetime to Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Well, Idaho, Montana going on here. Again, the winner of this game is really sitting pretty with the championship game coming up on Saturday. Drew McDowell is the starting pitcher for Montana.
Well, he is their most powerful player, both on the mound and at the plate. And Drew McDowell, fastball, curveball type pitcher. His curveball will touch 70 miles an hour. He's got a great late-breaking curveball. His fastball, touches 70. And this is the guy the coaches say they want on the mound to get that win, to get him to Saturday. Whoever wins today, 1 win away from Williamsport.
You can tell from that shot the haze. We are experiencing some of the smoke from all the fires that are going on, unfortunately, in the state of California. Air quality is certainly good enough to play, but you can see the impact of the fires around the state. Very hazy. All right, let's get it going from San Bernardino. Al Houghton Stadium, Northwest Region matchup, Montana and Idaho. Avery Cherry will lead off for Coeur d'Alene Little League, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. First pitch from Drew McDowell. It's a little bit low, and off we go. A fan of Chris Pratt, Avery Cherry has the nickname Child because his older brother Riley calls him that, and to Riley he may seem like a child, but he is now 12 years old and playing on national television.
Yeah, he's the son of the manager for this Coeur d'Alene team, Sean Cherry. He's a quiet leader, perfect guy in that number 1 spot, gets on base, works the counts.
Two-one pitch from McDowell. It's in on the ground out to short. Cooper Tyson. And that's the way we begin. Here is Sean Cherry, who is the manager for Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, 51-year-old. JT mentioned son Avery on the team.
Until yesterday when we met with them, we met with 4 of the teams yesterday, and we knew something was different about Sean Cherry when he came in. His team very well organized, and you can get into that a little bit, Mark, but he's got a very interesting background to Sean Cherry, and
former Marine.
Yeah, his team follows his lead. He is not messing around. He's all business.
14 years Sean Cherry spent in the Marines, and the team chant is discipline. They still have some fun, but they are disciplined.
No doubt, no doubt.
Wave and a miss by Chris Reynolds. He strikes out. McDowell records his first strikeout and 2 gone, top of the first. Again, this is just the 2nd game for Montana. The 3rd for Idaho. Good look there at Drew McDowell. Boulder Arrowhead Little League, Billings, Montana.
Talking to the Montana coaches yesterday, we asked them how do they view their team and rank their skills, and for Montana it's pitching, offense, and then defense. So let's keep an eye on McDowell on the mound. They are all about pitching, throwing strikes.
Cooper Smith playing first base today for Idaho. There's Cooper's mom, Candace, who works for the ABC TV affiliate, KXLW. Coeur d'Alene, Spokane, Washington area.
How about Cooper Smith? A great story. This guy.
Let's go, guys.
There you go. Cooper Smith went to Williamsport last year on his own just to get a look at it, and we asked him about it yesterday, and he said, I went there to check it out so that when I got there this year, I wouldn't be nervous when I play. This guy is organized. He's got every major league team hat and uniform. Dad's president of the league.
And he walks on 4 pitches. He is a fanatic for preparation. A 2-out walk handed out by Drew McDowell. Drew McDowell, 5'7", 120 pounds. He's a 12-year-old. Austin DeBoer. Up there hacking.
I think one of the important things to watch in these early games is who can get on top early. Both teams will come out a little nervous. They know what's at stake. Trying to get that win today, and then they'll advance to Saturday. They'll be 1 win away from Williamsport. So the ability to come out and relax. I always like playing defense first, being that home team in big games, letting your pitcher set the tone.
1-2.
Another one of the huge benefits, JT, to winning this game. You have an off day tomorrow. You kind of can get your pitching together for that championship game with the right to go to Williamsport.
See him go up there, count 1 and 2, throw that high fastball. He's got a good curveball. It's a late break. Basically a 2-pitch pitcher, as we said. And on the flip side, if you're Idaho, that first at bat, that first time through the lineup, you haven't faced these guys. See the velocity, see his pitches. Do your homework that first time through.
Hit sharply towards short, stumbling. Cooper Tyson gets it to Ben Urbacher at second. And the force out ends the inning. Down goes Idaho. When we come back, we'll meet the team from Billings, Montana.
1, 2, 3, set go! Next time on 3. 1, 2, 3, set go!
The Little League World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's, and in part by the Honda Odyssey, official vehicle of Little League since 1996.
Well, from the Inland Empire in Southern California, San Bernardino, to the bottom of the first, Idaho and Montana in this Northwest region matchup. Boulder Arrowhead Little League from Billings, Montana. And Billings, Montana, a city of over 100,000. It is the largest city in Montana. Now let's meet the coaches and players from Billings, Montana.
Scott Sears, manager of the Boulder Arrowhead Little League All-Star team from Billings, Montana. Shout out to all of our Little Leaguers and the sponsors who helped us come.
Corby Freitag, first base coach. Shout out to Billings community, my wife Reen and my daughter Quinn.
Paul Ranker, infield coach and hitting coach. I'd like to give a shout out to everybody in Billings and to wish my wife a happy anniversary.
Kate Vottenstall. I'd like to make my shout out to my sister, Campbell.
Xavier Brackenridge, shout out to Zacchaeus Bergen and Ryan Newell.
Josh Shear, shout out to Ryan Newell, my brother Taylor. Drew McDowell, shout out to Ryan Newell and my family.
Caleb Anderson, shout out to Ryan Newell.
Hey, Jacob Wilcox, shout out to Ryan Newell and my family.
Mason Brasso, shout out to my family.
Cooper Tyson, shout out to my family and Ryan Newell.
Sam Ranker, shout out to my family.
Cooper Freitag, shout out to my family.
Nick Schneider, shout out to my family.
Ben Urbacher, shout out to Ryan Newell and my family.
Carson Jenkins, shout out to my family.
Billings, Montana, you can consider yourself shout out to. And they face on the mound Cooper Erickson, the guy they call Pop-Tart.
There he is, Pop-Tart, 4-pitch pitcher. He's got a fastball, curveball, slider, changeup. Best off-speed pitch is that curveball, and his changeup, as the coach has said, really depends on the day. If he's got it working, he'll throw it. If it's not, he won't.
First pitch hack and smash back to the mound, and Erickson recovers and throws out Cooper Tyson. 1 pitch, 1 out. You might be wondering why they call him Pop-Tart. He's pop quick here.
Yep, 1 hop smash back. Does the right thing, picks it up with the bare hand, not the glove. pick it up with the bare hand, get it onto first base. You'll see as people watching these games, the mound is closer, the bases are closer, the action happens quick. Gotta make everything count. That's a great job of picking it up with the bare hand, getting on first base, get that leadoff out.
46 feet pitching distance here at the major division of Little League. Ben Urbacher is up. They call him Worm. His brothers called him that. So he has maintained that moniker. Hits it to right, coming in. A nice reaching catch by Austin DeBoer. Urbacher going the other way and almost found a hole.
Yeah, I tell you what, Montana not waiting around, coming out swinging the bats. And you know the scouting report on Erickson. High fastball, does a nice job of driving into right field. Good break on the ball. Austin DeBoer in right field. 2 up, 2 down.
Xavier Brackenridge is the hitter for Montana. This is a player with great power. He is their catcher, and his coaches just unequivocally say, hey, he's the best catcher in the state of Montana. 2-0 pitch from Cooper Erickson. Fouled away. Veronica, Ed Jaquan, you know, the Mexican restaurants in the Billings, Montana area.
Good little pitch there. One thing you can't do as hitters when you know a pitcher's got 4 pitches is look for too much. Still sit on his fastball. He has a good one and adjust to the off speed, especially this count here. Look fastball. Good take.
5-pitch walk to Brackenridge. There's the first base runner for Montana. See Dad Jaquan Brackenridge. Xavier's uncle Tyron Brackenridge played in the NFL with the Chiefs and the Jaguars. Now coaching in the Canadian Football League. Carson Jenkins, favorite athlete is Dad. Mike, who played minor league ball in the Giants organization. Mike Antle. They call Carson Jenkins CJ. Ball gets away, and there goes Brackenridge down to second.
Great read there by Xavier. See the ball popped out of the catcher's glove. Can't lead off the base until the ball crosses home plate, so always got to be on your toes, expecting maybe a wild pitch, pass ball. If it doesn't, the catcher doesn't come up with it cleanly, picking up an extra base. Ooh, nice pitch.
First strikeout for Cooper Erickson. Each team picked up a base runner in the first, and each team strands that base runner.
Another look at the strikeout, flips up that curveball, gets him in between. Great pitch. On to the second.
Northwest Region matchup between Idaho and Montana. Take a look at the Little League facts and figures. Created in 1939. The International League's formed in 51. You got 80-plus countries that are playing Little League. And a little fun fact not on there, we're going to tell you, though, that Stephen Keener, CEO and president of Little League, is here. We'll have a chance to visit with him after the third inning. First pitch strike gets us going into the top of the second. Drew McDowell threw just 11 pitches in the first inning. He goes to his breaking ball and misses up and in. Facing Cooper Erickson, who's the pitcher for Idaho. We mentioned his nickname is Pop-Tart. He got that when he showed up for practice. He hadn't eaten breakfast and he brought a Pop-Tart. And a nickname was born, and he is going to have a base hit. Long run for Drew McDowell to get to that ball, and by the time he tumbled and flipped To Carson Jenkins, Cooper Erickson was going to beat it out anyway. He's on with a hit.
Well, sometimes in Little League, it's all about getting base runners. You see the number 5 hitter pushing the bunt right in the perfect slot. What that does, it brings an indecision between the first baseman and the pitcher. First baseman has to commit to that and go get it, and the pitcher should get over to first base. That's why communication is so key on a play like that, but a great job and a great bunt by Erickson.
Leadoff man is aboard for Braden Newby. He enjoys math. He's heading into the 7th grade at Lakes Middle School.
Little sneak attack bunt right there from your 5-hitter.
Well, you mentioned how important it is to take a lead.
Yes. Just settles things down, you know. Both teams, see them in that first inning, coming out aggressive. Get that lead, give your pitcher something to work with. It just settles you down.
Braden Newby's parents. Mom is Ashley, Dad John.
Most nervous people in the stadium right now.
As if it wasn't hot enough. That's into right field. Looking at first base. A throw goes there, not in time. And they've actually hit Newby in the hand as he went by. I don't know if the ball hit him. The ball was actually caught by Carson Jenkins, but something happened with a collision with Newby's hand after he got to the bag.
Took another look, pitch inside. He fights it off nicely to right field, running hard all the way down the line. And you can do this if the ball's hit hard. See the right fielder playing shallow, comes up, heads up play.
Let's go, guys.
The ball goes in the glove, and the glove gets the hand.
He's going to stay in there.
Somewhere in there, but
back-to-back hits for Idaho. Nobody out. First pitch is a strike to Jake Dannenberg. And enjoys Kevin Hart. Inside corner. Chad Kent. To third, a force out there, stepping on Brackenridge, throws to first, and that is dug out by Carson Jenkins, a double play. Well executed by Montana.
It's a great play. We talked about Brackenridge being one of the best catchers in the state. Got him over at third base today, and that's great anticipation, knowing what to do with the ball. Ball's hit you, step on third. A little low throw, but that's why they give the first baseman the biggest glove on the team. Love to see those. Great job of picking that ball by Carson Jenkins. Make a lot of friends with your infielders. You can scoop those balls out and save errors.
To right field. Ottenstall makes the catch. Well, it started out well for Idaho. They had 2 on, nobody out, but a double play helps in that threat.
This is a big inning. We might look back in this inning as a turning point of the game. Step on third with your right foot, get the throw on its way. Great pick.
Idaho and Montana scoreless, headed to the bottom of the 2nd. You need something cool here in San Bernardino. The temperature's been well over the 100-degree mark this week. So you need your ice cream in the ice cream can. It's apparently not being operated because the operator, perhaps Dutch, is enjoying some ice cream. Big sellers. You don't have to pay admission to a Little League game, so you got extra money to spend.
That's right.
Hit the concessions. There's Dutch. Hang loose, Dutch. It's a strike to Drew McDowell. He's a fan of Aaron Judge, but his favorite Major League team is the St. Louis Cardinals. In the hole, 0-2. On the ground is short. Newby finds Cooper Smith.
Tell you what, very impressed with both of these starting pitchers, the way they've come out, throwing the ball hard, throwing strikes, getting some quick outs.
Winner of this game will play Saturday, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, here on ESPN. And the winner of that game, the championship game, goes to Williamsport. The loser of this game is not finished. They'll play tomorrow at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on ESPN against Beaverton, Oregon. And they're aggressive at the plate, both teams.
They are.
By Sears, man.
Totally impressed. And their coaches called it yesterday when we talked to them. They said we are, both these coaches, obviously we talked to them separately, but both said very aggressive offensively and on the mound, throw a lot of strikes. I'm not waiting around.
Josh Sears, whose dad Scott is the team manager of Boulder Arrowhead Little League in Montana.
Drive it. On, Josh, drive that ball.
Josh says his role model is his dad. He says his dad is the coolest person ever. I said, did your dad coerce you to saying that? He said, oh.
Come on, see the ball. See the ball.
That's a good son, isn't it?
Well done.
Hey.
Part of the family is here. Brothers Taylor, Colin, mom Robin. Their 18-year-old brother Braden is not here. So when you have 4 in the household, 3 siblings, maybe you have to kind of butter up that every once in a while and call him the coolest guy ever.
I got to believe that Josh, being the youngest, is probably the toughest in that household. Probably scrapping and fighting for some food at the table.
Drive, there you go. Come on, bud.
Great family. You know, one of the things I've noticed about Cooper Erickson on the mound that I like, he goes out of the stretch all the time.
Come on, Josh. Come on, buddy. Here we go.
You know, there's no leading off here, but what that does, it makes your release point and your delivery repeatable.
Good, we're good.
A lot of times that windup, you have a lot of moving parts, and at this age, it's hard to get it all lined up, but great job going from the stretch. The pitch.
Second strikeout.
You just take a lot of movement out of your delivery. Go from the stretch, plant and drive, see a little 3/4 little slider up in the zone. And we talked about Cooper Erickson. He's a 4-pitch pitcher. He'll throw that fastball, curve, slider, change.
Found out a play with Jacob Wilcox. Jacob Wilcox, the nickname just flows. Jay Willie. Pulls that into left field for a base hit. Carl Schwarzer cutting it off. 2-out base hit for Wilcox. First hit of the game for Montana.
Great swing there by Jacob in that 7-hole. Taking another swing from center field. Ball up in the zone. Does a nice job just getting on top. Don't try and too much. Just throw your hands at it just like that. There we go.
Dad Jason and mom Joellen.
Never gets old, does it?
First pitch hack, and Caleb Anderson softly to short. Close play, safe. Braden Newby did all he could at short, but Caleb Anderson beats it out. That's an infield hit. And a couple of 2-out singles for Montana.
Pretty good play all the way around. Gets jammed right here, a little off the end of the bat. But shortstop come in one-handed, charges it, gets it out of the glove quick. But Caleb Anderson running hard the whole time down that line. Love how he hits the front part of that base. When you're running down that line, don't hit the middle of the bag, hit the front.
And that's in the center from Cade Vatnsdahl. Around third now, putting on the brakes as Wilcox is a great throw from the center fielder, Chris Reynolds. The bases are loaded.
Montana with a little 2-out magic here. 3 singles in a row. Another hard hit ball right back through the middle. Chris Reynolds does a nice job. The coach was waving him at third, but good thing he didn't go. He's waving him. I think I'll stop. It would have been out.
Fastball, Jake, you got to anticipate.
That's a huge play in this game so far. That throw from center field.
Back to the top of the order for Montana.
And, you know, the coaches tell you to hit the cutoff man, but that's a great spot right there where you can overshoot the cutoff man because there's essentially 3 guys on base. They can't move up. Take a shot at home plate from center field, and if you have the arm, you throw a strike just like Reynolds did. So that's one of those spots where it's okay to, you can airmail that cutoff man because the guys on base have nowhere to go.
Hey, ball 3 in the dirt. Strike 2 in the dirt, you got to go, right? Strike 3. Have you ready. Here you go.
Nice block.
I called it.
Avery Cherry keeping it near the plate.
Great job of coaching down there. Get ahead of a guy, watch for that ball in the dirt. You got to be 100% sure you could score from third base with 2 outs. The base is loaded.
Fastball. Good waste pitch here. Go on, Coop. See it, hit it. Ready, Jacob. Score right here.
Huge pitch right here.
Popped up to the right side. Jake Dannenberg squeezes it. A 2-out rally for Montana falls short. They leave the bases loaded at the end of 2. Idaho and Montana are scoreless.
First pitch, driven to center field, and it's deep, and it is gone. What a start for Chandler Spencer in Texas. Miyahara goes yard. How about that? Japan on top, 5-2. Right field, this may do it. And Japan and Kitasuna have won an unprecedented 4th Little League World Series championship.
Who will win it in 2018? The tickets that have been punched on the international side include Seoul, South Korea, Gold Coast, Australia, Guayama, Puerto Rico, Spain representing Europe, Africa, Panama's in. Canada will be determined on Saturday. Little League Baseball from San Bernardino, California. Keep that youngster well fed with the nachos and in the shade and plenty of water. Idaho comes up top of the 3rd with the 9, 1, and 2 hitters. Caden Simmons. Caden is the youngest player on the Idaho team. He is 11 years old. Actually, just turned 12 on August 4th. Nicole, who's a 7th grade math teacher. It is Idaho, so you got the potato mascot. Sister Madison holding the spud.
Good pitch there and on the hands. One of the things you have to remember when you're a hitter, the harder the pitcher throws, the more you want the ball down in the zone, and both these pitchers are throwing hard. They can get away with throwing high fastballs. They're hard to catch up to, so get the ball down in the zone.
Simmons going into 6th grade at Lakes Middle School. I mentioned his mom is a math teacher at 7th grade at that school. I asked him yesterday, so you might have your mom as a teacher? And he said, well, maybe next year. And I said, would that be a good thing? And he said, probably not.
Not so sure.
And he picks up the walk to begin the inning. We can catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including how to visit Williamsport, score, stats, highlights, and a lot more. Visit littleleague.org or follow along on social media with hashtag LLWS.
Keep an eye on this Idaho lineup. 2nd time through now. We face McDowell once. Go turn it over to Avery Cherry. You know he's fastball, curveball. Sit on that fastball, adjust to the off speed.
0-2. McDowell has thrown 7 straight first pitch strikes to Idaho hitters. He's getting ahead. Cherry fights it off foul.
Pitcher, 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 pitcher.
Tell you what, I've been impressed by both these pitchers. Their command, their velocity, the way they get the ball and throw it, the hitters. Aggressive swinging the bats. This has the making of one of those games that could go down to the end and maybe a run here or there could win it.
Mom Rainey, Cherry. His husband Sean, the team manager for Coeur d'Alene. Nice umbrella, nice hat. Well decked out here in San Bernardino.
It is hot.
Yes.
You need some shade.
Let's listen into the conversation.
Hey, good job. Hey, 1-2 count, right? Fouled it off. We're just messing up his timing right? If I let you throw another pitch right there, his timing's on. So now he doesn't know if it's fastball, curveball. I want you to just go inside fastball on the hands. Okay, inside fastball on the hands, but let's shake it off. Shake it off, Drew, and come back with the same pitch. Fastball hard on the hands. Okay, let's go, boys.
Special pinch runner,
Scott Sears, the manager.
for 30 for Idaho.
We're going to see the heater. You can hear the wind. There is some wind blowing around. Wind blowing in from center and left center towards the left field foul line.
So here's the art of pitching. You know what you're going to do. You've got the instructions from the manager. Let's see if you can locate. Throw that fastball in on his hands. That's the plan. Let's see if he can execute.
Nolan Christ, special pinch runner at first for Simmons. You can use a special pinch runner twice during a game, but you can't use it twice for the same player. How'd the execution go on that fastball?
Well, down. Going to come right back with it, though. See if he comes in there.
He does. Whacked out into right center field, down for a base hit. Chris will stop at second. Avery Cherry with a base hit, and now Idaho has 2 on with nobody out, just like they did an inning ago.
Just didn't get that ball in far enough. He tried to come in. You see the catcher sets up. Watch the ball runs right out over the plate. Get a little bit of that barrel. Great swing by Cherry. Watch how he keeps his head down on the ball through contact. Perfect.
Hard to clap when you're holding an umbrella, but the excitement level is still up there. Here's Chris Reynolds, center fielder for Idaho. Whacks out into center field. The lead runner, Chris, being held up. We've already seen Caleb Anderson comes up with that in center field.
Nice job of hitting right there. A little line drive through the middle, and Chris just froze a hair when that ball comes off the bat. I'm not sure if we can see it, but with the one out, not a bad play. You got to know where the defense is playing. Watch him on second base when it's hit. See him freeze right there? That may have cost him getting to home plate. Could have tailed back to the second baseman, but not a bad job. With one out, you can't get doubled off on the bases. Set it up. Sorry, there's no outs. You got it wrong on the 2. Even better yet, nobody out, don't get doubled up.
Cooper Smith walked in the first. Bases loaded, nobody out for Idaho.
Oh, nice.
Tried to pick off Chris.
A little sneak attack down there to third base. If you're a hitter in this situation, bases loaded, nobody out, get real aggressive early in the count. The pitcher has got to throw a strike these first couple pitches. Look to swing the bat here. If you're a hitter, the pressure is on the pitcher here. Nowhere to put you. Once you come across that plate, you know he throws 2 pitches, fastball, curveball. Sit on that fastball, hit it hard.
Had a good hack, fouled it back. 5 of the last 7 Idaho batters have reached base. Cooper Smith's dad, Jeff.
We'll try and find a way to put this in play somehow.
He was thinking along with you. That pitch was up, and he thought, I got 2 strikes. I'm going to at least make some contact.
Yeah, you got to be a tough out. You don't want to go down swinging here. Just put that ball in play. Put that pressure on the defense and make something happen. Give in a little bit with the swing, maybe choke up. Looks like they're coming in hard.
2-2. Cooper Smith has a black lab at home. The dog is named Cruz. He named him after the Mariners' Nelson Cruz. Ball gets away. Chris coming to the plate. He scores the first run of the afternoon. Nolan Chris was running for Simmons, and a wild pitch allows him to score from third.
It's tough right there with the count 2-2, trying to make a perfect pitch, and it just gets past the backhand of Wilcox. Nice job of anticipating by Chris on third base, and Idaho at 1-0. Both these teams have had their chances early in the game. Idaho finally breaks through.
Chris comes in with the first run. Now it's second and third.
Now it becomes even more important with the full count to put that ball in play with 2 strikes. Got to get that runner in from third any way you can. Great pitch.
Exactly what Drew McDowell wanted, and that's a strikeout, his second of the game, and that's a big first out for Montana.
Huge pitch. Backdoor curveball right on the black. Cooper Smith knows he's got to try and protect, swing that bat. Huge out.
DeBoer lays down a bunt. Lead runner cannot advance yet. Play comes back safe. Well, DeBoer deadened that bunt so well. No chance for Cherry to come in from third initially, but when the throw went to first, here came Cherry and he scores.
It's a pretty good play all around, offensively and defensively. The ball just dies right there. Watch Cherry on third, timing it. Good throw to first, not a bad throw to home, just not in time. And talked about the manager's son being a heads-up player. That's a heads-up play. Put your team up 2-0. Steal an extra run right there.
It's Jacob Wilcox, the catcher.
It's so hard when you're speaking from experience. When you're the first baseman there, you have that play in front of you, and you can see that runner from third take off to home, but you got to wait for that ball to get there. You got to get that out, and there's just not enough time. Been there a few times on that play, and it's hard because you're waiting for that ball. And you try and throw it to home as quick as you can.
DeBoer gets credit for a sacrifice and an RBI. Off the bench comes Chase Saunders.
Scores around, gets the bat at the top of the zone, just deadens it in front of the plate.
That was almost too good of a bunt. That was really well done.
And what you can do as a catcher, and as you go higher up the level, I know there's not a lot of time with the base runners here, but you can pick that ball up as a catcher and just look at the guy at third to freeze him and stop his momentum, and then get the ball on its way out to first base, and you can hold that runner at third and you won't score.
Chase Saunders batting in Cooper Erickson's spot, hit by pitch. The runners are at first and second. And 2 down in the inning. Braden Newby is the batter. McDowell trying to limit the damage. He's had a high leverage inning here. His 27th pitch of the inning.
Yeah, I'm very impressed by the Idaho offense. I talked about at the beginning of this inning, the second time through the lineup they've made their adjustments on McDowell, and it showed. Putting the ball in play, having good quality at bats, putting a lot of pressure on that Montana defense.
Towards right, but it fades into the glove of the second baseman Ben Urbacher to win the inning. But big frame for Idaho as they played a couple of runs and they take a 2-0 lead to the bottom of the third.
Studio, New England Regional earlier today. New Hampshire taking on Connecticut. Bottom of the first, leadoff man for New Hampshire. That's Ryan Strand. Takes this one deep to left center and gone. New Hampshire would never trail after that. They go on to win, and they'll play Rhode Island tomorrow. Mark, JT, you guys.
Well, Chris, you have Connecticut has 4 Little League World Series championships. We look at those by state. No surprise, California's at the top of the list with 7. Montana and Idaho would like to make a little history.
How about Hawaii with 2? That's impressive. We'll see them later tonight.
Back in the Inland Empire, San Bernardino, California. Home half of the third. Montana, 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Zerbacher leading off. Ben Zerbacher takes another first pitch strike. And Cooper Erickson has been really good on the mound.
Unbelievable. 30 pitches now and 22 strikes. And I think a lot of that, as we said earlier, going out of the stretch, able to repeat that delivery and that release point.
Out to left field and ranging towards the line. He makes the catch in fair territory. Carl Schwarzer. A little tip of the cap of his pitcher, Erickson.
Yeah, I just think Erickson, by going out of that stretch, is just takes a lot of that delivery and mechanics out of it. Look at there, 31 total pitches, 8 balls.
Wow, what a ratio.
That is better than good. You love, when you track it, you love 2-to-1, but you really love if a guy can get 3-to-1, then you're in business. Big league pitchers strive for 3-to-1 balls to, or strikes to balls. Just gets in a groove out of that stretch. Foul ball.
That hit the bat. Xavier Brackenridge
did.
Yeah, I'm saying it did. Or
I think the ump said it hit his arm, but
put up as a 1-1 count. Xavier Brackenridge. He likes Seahawks football. And Robinson Cano of the Mariners. Out to third. Spear, Simmons, Caden Simmons fires to first. 2 outs.
That's a great play. Now you're seeing Idaho playing a little hop in their step on defense. A lot of smiles and enjoying the game. That's the way you play it. That's a great play at third base. Let's take a look at this from behind home plate. Steps to his right, gloves it. See how he gets on top with that arm and gives that first baseman a nice flat throw. Pitchers love that when an infielder can steal an out with a good defensive play.
Mandatory play for both these teams is that everybody has to have at least 1 at bat.
For 45.
So each of these teams has 13 players. If they had 12 or fewer, mandatory play would be at least 1 at bat and playing 6 consecutive defensive outs. But since they have 13 players, it's 1 at bat. And Sam Ranker is going to bat here for Montana. For Carson Jenkins.
Ball.
Here's a look at mandatory play. What they'll do at the end of this third inning, the Little League representatives on site make sure that both teams are trending towards getting all their players in for mandatory play. Chewbacca is the nickname for Ranker. Inside corner, strike 2-1. One of the rare counts that Erickson has fallen behind in 3-1.
Just locate in right here, get a fastball, 1 pitch in 1 spot. Try and attack it. If it's not there, you take it. There you go.
Oops. Late strike call will bring back Ranker 3-2. Erickson got the backdoor breaking ball to go his way.
I was thinking along with Ranker. Taking a look at this pitch.
3-2.
3-2 pitch coming from Cooper Erickson. Chop foul.
Likes that curveball. We talked about it earlier. That's his best off-speed pitch, and he will throw it in any count, any time.
Wait.
Drop down a little bit right there.
Give him a little different look.
Yeah, a little 3/4, a little slide ball.
Samuel Ranker, who plays the piano and the trumpet. And his mom, Rebecca, is a teacher.
Wait.
Here comes the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Samuel Ranker. His dad Paul's a coach on the team. Man, he's hanging in.
Yeah, he is. Good battle. Not easy coming off that bench. You sit over there for an hour and then you have to pinch hit. Facing a pitcher that's throwing hard and in a groove, but Sam Ranker doing a great job in this at-bat, getting that pitch count up.
Wait.
A walk or a knock. That's what you want. 3-2, 2 out.
And he gets the walk. Second walk handed out by Cooper Erickson, a 2-out base runner from Montana.
Now Mom can breathe.
Yeah, she can breathe again.
So hard watching your kid play.
Cooper Freitag now is going to come off the bench for Montana. Bad for Drew McDowell.
All right, thank you.
Cooper's dad, Corby, is a coach on the team.
Really fun to meet all these kids yesterday and the coaches. And you know, we're from this part of the country. When you meet kids from Idaho, Montana, and you get to talk to them about fishing and hunting and camping, and just great kids that get to experience a lot about life and the outdoors.
Yeah, Corby Freitag, who coaches over at first base. Mom Reen, who is the high school volleyball coach at Central High School, an assistant on that staff. Cooper's sister Quinn. Nicholas Schneider is going to be the special pinch runner for Ranker at first.
Well, my scorecard's already looking pretty shabby.
Got to get everybody in the game.
Got to get them in. Got to have a... Scorecard can get confusing, but it's all good.
Cooper Freitag, favorite band. Kind of went off the charts here for a kid his age. ELO, Electric Light Orchestra. Said his favorite ELO song is Evil Woman.
We had a few classic rock kids yesterday. We had we had an AC/DC.
Back to the fastball, 2-1. Freitag heading into 7th grade at Ben Steele Middle School. Billings, Montana. Back to the screen. Schneider's going to scoot down to second. And a wild pitch.
Time!
This is a big at-bat here, down 2-0. You got the count 3-1. You get that tying run on base.
Okay. Hey, can we get a rosin bag, Gary?
He wants a rosin bag. He wants a rosin bag.
Yeah, okay. So here's
No
what
rosin bag.
no rosin bag. There was a rosin bag the other night. No? Okay. Hey, so just wipe it off, okay? Slow down. You're overthrowing, okay?
No, I'm
Trust your mechanics. Get your foot down. Live low. You're trying to throw too hard. Let's go. Let's get him.
It's great advice. Love what he said about slowing down. Sometimes you start rushing and your arm can't catch up with your body. He's been in such a groove, and now Montana's had a couple good at-bats off him, so it's great advice right there. Slow down, set your sights down in the zone. Sounds like he was having a little trouble with that ball. It's hot. Sometimes you get that sweat going in your hands.
Sean Cherry, the manager for Idaho, who came out. That rosin would take some of the wetness off the hand.
Probably prefer cotton.
There you go. 3-2. Skirted trouble in the second after 3 2-out hits. Montana left the bases loaded. They have a 2-out runner here and a 3-2 pitch fouled off. Here's the 20th pitch of the inning thrown by Cooper Erickson. His next pitch will be his 50th of the game.
I would love to do a study on percentage of strikes after the manager goes to the mound on any level. I bet it's about 90 to 95%.
Still 3-2. Scott Sears, the manager. I should say Sean Cherry, the manager. Another foul ball. Another good battle going on just between Cooper Freitag and Cooper Erickson. Got a lot of Coopers in this game.
Cooper was a popular name about 12 years ago. A couple good battles going on from some pinch hitters. I've been very impressed. Freitag off the bench. Ranker works the walk. I said earlier, not easy to do to sit over there for an hour and grab a bat and go up and hit off a guy that's dealing.
A little bit high, ball 4. Back-to-back walks. Cooper Erickson has thrown 18 pitches to the last 2 hitters, each resulting in a walk.
And when you start walking guys, you get into the game like this as a pitcher, you just got to try and relax and let your defense work for you. Throw strikes, let the guys hit the ball. You can't do it all yourself. The one thing that will get Montana back into this game is walks. Got 7 guys behind you. Let them get involved in the game.
Time.
Avery Cherry, the catcher, asking for time. Well, Cooper Erickson, he's still working with a 2-0 lead here.
Ready, guys?
2 outs. He's just gotten a little quick on the mound. Just like his coach said, you start getting quick, the ball starts going high on you in the zone. Take a deep breath and relax. You've got the lead. You're up 2-0. Just keep trying to pound that strike zone and like I said earlier, let your defense work for you.
Pitch coming to Josh Sears. Gets under it and fouls it back.
Seen him a few times now. When he drops down on that 3/4 pitch, he's thrown a lot of strikes with it.
Erickson set down the first 2 in the inning. Walked the next 2. Idaho just scored a couple of runs in the top of this 3rd inning. That ball shot to right. It's sinking. It skips past the bore. Schneider, the special pinch runner, will score. Here comes the tying run. Freitag is in, and it's 2-2.
I'll give some credit to this Montana offense. They had 2 outs in this inning, and Cooper Erickson was sailing along. A couple good at-bats. They worked walks by pinch hitters. And now Sears hangs out a line drive to right field. A great at-bat. Ball up in the zone and away, stays right on it and throws the hands on him. Little delay in right field, a little indecision, and then he decides to come for it. Austin DeBoer lays out and the ball gets by him. 2-run score. We got a new ball game. All with 2 outs.
So Sears knocks in 2. We're tied up.
Pretty good high five right there between son and father.
Mason Grosso is going to be the special pinch runner for Sears. Brasso, that is. Tap foul by Jacob Wilcox.
Amazing how fast baseball can change, right? Just you can't take anything for granted ever. You gotta bear down and concentrate on every pitch and every at bat.
Jacob Wilcox singled his last time up. So he's 1 for 1. Joe Ellen. This game was scoreless through 2 innings. Idaho played at 2 in the top of this 3rd. And now Montana has answered, all with 2 outs, and that pitch count for Cooper Erickson has gone up as this will be his 30th pitch of the inning.
Came in with 29 pitches and 21 strikes, and he said what a great job he was doing throwing strikes. And
sent out to left center field. Schwarzer on the run. It's over his head. Third run of the inning. 3-2 as Montana has taken the lead on an RBI extra base hit by Jacob Wilcox.
What a game for Wilcox. 2 for 2. Singled in the second, now double here in the third. Great production from this Montana team down the 6, 7, 8, 9 hole. 5 hits from the 6-hitter on down. It's kind of come unraveled here for Idaho. But once again, a great job like Idaho did with Montana's pitcher McDowell that second time through. Awesome job of making adjustments their second time through the lineup.
Out to left center field once again, and the center fielder takes command. Chris Reynolds makes the catch. And Idaho finally gets that elusive third out. 3 runs all with 2 outs, so Montana has the lead. When we come back, we'll visit with the president and CEO of Little League, Stephen Keener. We'll send 2 teams out of here in San Bernardino to Williamsport. The fun begins August 16th on the ESPN networks. Good look at the complex in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Comedy Stadium. Take a look at what's happened so far. 2 U.S. tickets have been punched. Houston, Texas, and Peachtree, Georgia. So the Southwest and Southeast regions are complete. Our next guest lives in Williamsport. He has that great privilege, as we're joined by the president and CEO of Little League, Stephen Keener. Can you believe it's that time of year already again?
It comes around quicker every year, Mark. It's great to be with you and JT. Nice to make your acquaintance as well.
Hey, first thing, we have a little extra time here because they're doing a little cooling break. It's very hot here, so the players, umpires get a chance here to catch a little drink, and Little League's always been big on the safety of players, fans, participants.
Yeah, I can't take credit for this. This wasn't my decision. The good people we have out here running this Northwest and West regional tournaments, they're concerned about the heat and keeping kids and the umpires and coaches and everybody hydrated. And so they thought at the end of the third inning it might make sense to give them all a little extended break so they can get a cold towel and a cold drink and get revived a little bit for the last 3 innings of the game. So really a great idea, but credit to the volunteers and the directors out here who made that decision.
I was going to ask you, do you have, it's probably impossible to do, but I got to ask anyways, do you have one memory or one time of a Little League finals at Williamsport or a tournament that stands out? I know you guys do an incredible job with all the teams that are there, but maybe some of the big leaguers that have come through there.
Well, there are many, JT. I've been around here a long time, 38 years. Relevant to this year, probably 1998, Todd Frazier and his Toms River East Little League team won the Little League World Series. This is the 20th anniversary of that championship. And ironically, Todd's coming back to Williamsport this year to play in the MLB Little League Classic, the Phillies and the Mets, next on the 19th of August. And so it's going to be great to have Todd back at Williamsport for the first time since he was 12 years old. But I would tell you, and I know we have a little bit more time, and I don't want to extend the story, but my memories are really more about things that happen in the World Series or about the World Series than what actually takes place on the field. And probably my most significant memory is waking up on the morning of 9/11 and learning that a young firefighter from Staten Island had lost his life at the World Trade Center, and then a day or two later learning that he had played in our Little League World Series 10 years prior to that. And we honored him. We actually retired him. The number that he wore in the Little League World Series, it's on the fence at Lomini and Volunteer Stadium, number 11 for Michael Camerata. And so that's, he gave his life. When you talk about Little League building character and those qualities in children, Michael probably is the epitome of that. So that's probably the strongest memory I have.
Yeah, great one.
Another thing before we get going here again, I've noticed your commentary in the Little League program change is coming. There are changes. Now, we've seen some changes with the bats with Little League this year, but I'll let you articulate the different changes, not only that we're seeing this year, but what you see coming down the road.
Yeah, we have a really strong working relationship with Major League Baseball. In fact, Commissioner Manfred is so engaged in trying to get more kids involved in the game. So it's really exciting and refreshing for all the people in our program to have that strong support from Major League Baseball. So what we realize is that, this isn't the Little League of 30, 40 years ago, that things have to change. We have to adapt to the times that we're in. We have to find ways to be more accessible to kids in every walk of life to participate in our program. So that may require some change that some people, quite frankly, might resist.
Jake Dannenberg leading off, whose favorite band is Queen. There's another young man who's going old school on us music-wise. Good to see. He's leading off the top of the fourth for Idaho. Montana has just taken a 3-2 lead.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Mason Brasso has taken over in left field. Brasso takes over there. Hey, you mentioned the big league game. Last year was Cardinals, Pirates. We got Phillies, Mets this year. Last year was such a huge success. I talked to some of the players, Little League players that were there, and they said it was one of the great moments for them to go into Williamsport.
Yeah, I think the big league guys had as much fun as the Little League World Series kids that got to meet them. JT, you could relate to this. I mean, those big league guys from the Cardinals and the Pirates came in there and they became 12 again.
Exactly.
And that's the way they act. One of the great memories from that day was Tommy Pham with the Cardinals.
Yes. Yep.
Bought 200 snow cones and passed them out to all the kids in the stands. So, that kind of environment is just good for all of us.
Tough play for the shortstop, but Cooper Tyson.
Well, I can tell you from experience, when I was in the big leagues and this time of year comes around, there's guys in the clubhouse watching these games and bragging about where they play, where they came up, even in guys from the Dominican and Venezuela and Mexico are supporting their teams. And
that was the first thing that the big league guys asked when they got off the bus at our complex is, where's the Dominican team, where's the Canadian team? And they wanted to go see the kids from the countries where they played. One of the great Francisco Cervelli, the Pirates, invited the Italian team to come out to Pittsburgh to see a game as his guest. They'd never been to a major league game, so it was just a lot of fun. Good things like that.
Yep.
Hey, I'll tell you a story. With the San Diego Padres, it was the year Parkview Little League in 2009.
Yes.
Won it all. When that final game was going on, we were on the bus with the Padres, and Adrian Gonzalez was sitting next to me. He played at that Little League, and when they won that Little League, he's not ashamed. There were tears in his eyes when they won that.
That's what we've found with the major league guys is they've not forgotten where it started. And the Little League Classic really just drives that home. And I think we'll see it again this year with the Phillies and the Mets, that once they get to the Little League complex and realize that this is where the dream really begins.
Kyle Schwarzer batting here for Idaho.
Another note on that, when I played Little League, I just played in the City League. It wasn't this organized sanctioned Little League, but I had a chance to coach my son in organized Little League. It was Hillsboro Little League in Northern California. We won our district. So what a thrill for me to be able to coach my son after playing Little League and then getting, there it is right there, Seal Beach Little League. Look at that.
I've seen that swing before.
I think I tipped at the ball right there. It's below the catcher's mitt, but I don't know, not bad form, but look at, we played in long pants back then. We didn't even have uniforms.
You sure that was a foul tip? Really?
Yeah, if I'd swung and missed, the guy would have caught it. That's why it's a foul tip. It's going in the dirt.
But those are the memories, JT. I mean, you probably can remember everything about that game.
I could tell you the guy's name who was umping and the guy who was coaching first base and the field we played at. And so just thank you to you guys and all the volunteers. I don't know who has a great task of organizing all the games and all that, but what a thrill to coach my son to get through districts. We eventually lost, and then it was fun for me because we played a team from San Ramon and then Tracy, California, and then after the games, the other teams, they all wanted a picture with me because they're all Giants fans, and my my team was mad at me for taking pictures with a team that just beat us, and I had to kind of explain to him that there's a lot more fans out there in Northern California than just our team.
Two quick things. Number one, it gives me an opportunity to say thank you for volunteering your time to our program, because this program doesn't exist without volunteers, and we have them at every level, at every one of these regional tournaments all over the world. And you know, we're blessed with such a strong foundation in our program of people who care so much about it and willing to give their time to it. The best part of the MLB Classic last year, in my opinion, was when the game ended and the Pirates and the Cardinals came out of the dugout and walked through a line shaking hands like every Little League game ends. And I just thought it was so appropriate that, you know, the guys, you know, they played hard, they've tried to win, but when the game was over, they showed the same kind of sportsmanship that you see on a Little League field every day. And just, you know, really thankful that they thought to do that. It made such a nice impression on everybody.
Hopefully we'll see that from the Mets and Phillies at the end of the game this year. We'll see, huh?
We hope so. We hope so.
Hey, is that a year-by-year thing? Do you and Commissioner Manfred talk about it? How
yeah, you know,
initially
when they first approached us about it, it was really just going to be a one-year special game event, and I think it exceeded everybody's expectations last year. And they called us shortly after that, and they said, "Hey, look, we got to do this again next year." Mm-hmm. And so we're kind of going year by year, and hopefully, if you know, we have another good year, give it some consideration for another one at least. But it's you know, people say, well, why do you do this? I always like to look at tangible results. Mm-hmm. We have on our website, it's called the League Finder, which is when people are watching games like today, they can get on there and I know we're at the end of the inning, but and look for leagues. Normally we get about 1,500 or so, maybe 2,000 during a day. The day of the MLB Classic, we had 9,000 visits to our League Finder. Awesome. So, you know, we had a whole day of baseball, Little League to the big leagues, and that's the result we're looking for.
That was awesome. Great to have you in the booth. Stephen Keener, President and CEO of Little League. Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you, JT. Thanks for doing this. Mark, great to see you guys.
Our pleasure.
Keep up the great work for us. Thank you.
By then, Drew will be done. You know, after.
A few moments ago, the manager for Montana, Scott Sears, addressed his team.
Yeah, we're one with a walk. Hey, let's go. Hey, we have got to fight. You guys, we have got to fight. We got to put up some runs this inning. Fight every at bat. Fight like Sam fought. Fight like Jacob fought. Fight like Josh fought. Come on, go get it.
Shorten it up. Put the ball on the ground. Line drives. Hit. 1, 2, 3.
Now, this had been a scoreless game through the first couple of innings, but the offense has been finding more success here in the middle stages of the game.
Yeah, it was a huge inning in the third for Montana with 2 outs. Ended up scoring 3 runs. A couple good pinch hits, worked walks, and then a couple doubles.
Well, just get water.
Both teams came out swinging the bats. Pretty good beginning of the game, nothing to show for it. Cooper Erickson last inning ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw.
9-1 and 2 batters coming up here for Montana. Cade Vatnsdal to lead off. There's been a change made on the mound for Idaho, as Erickson has come out and Braden Newby is going to be the new pitcher. He moves over from shortstop. There is Braden, who takes over on the mound for Idaho.
Look at the numbers on Newby in this regional, and he's a hard thrower. He's got a good fastball. Hard fastball, goes 68 to 70 miles an hour, and a really good curveball, 2-pitch pitcher. He is probably Idaho's second best after Erickson on the staff. Let's see if he can come in, shut the door for 2 innings, and give his team a chance to win this game.
He switched spots with Cooper Erickson, who moves to short. Newby moves from short to the mound. Cade Vatnsdal had a base hit in his first at bat. That was a second inning single to center. Again, our thanks to Stephen Keener, the Little League president and CEO, for his time.
It's a busy man, isn't it?
It is. He is. He's headed to Indianapolis now, where they have the Great Lakes and Midwest regions going on. That's the first one-hopper behind the bag. Cooper Smith steps on the bag, 3 unassisted. Speaking of the big leagues, Sunday Night Baseball presented by Taco Bell, the Nationals, Bryce Harper, and the Nats taking on the Cubs. Final game of that 3-game series from Wrigley. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern with baseball tonight's Sunday Night Countdown, and it streams live on the ESPN app. Well, a Cub, Anthony Rizzo, played for Parkland Little League there in South Florida.
Didn't even have to change in his hat, did he?
He was a Cub back then.
I would wear that if I got to the. He should show up if he still had that hat, which he probably does because we keep all our stuff. Still have my Little League hats. It'd be great to show up one day for BP with your Little League Cubs hat on.
Cooper Tyson.
It's where it all starts. Starts down at this level with that dream. The thing I was impressed with when we talked to all the kids, they filled out the questionnaire and what would you like to be and grow up, and 99.9 said a major league player, but almost all of them had a backup plan B, which was, and some of the jobs were pretty impressive. From one guy wanted to be a brain surgeon.
Cooper Tyson here wants to be a veterinarian. Says he likes animals. I said, well, how many pets you got? Well, I got a cat and a guinea pig right now. Still 2-2. 1 out, bases empty in the Montana 4th. This is a 6-inning game. Cooper's mom, Alex, who works for the Billings Tourism Bureau in the Chamber of Commerce. Dad, Calvin. Hey, visiting either of these cities is a great idea, especially if you love the outdoors. Billings, Montana, or Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Tomahawk that into right field, and a base hit for Cooper Tyson.
Or as we were talking to one of the kids yesterday, I forget who it was, but an accomplished fly fisherman. You ever want to learn to fly fish? And you were talking about the waders, and man, he had it down. He knows what he's doing. And we asked the biggest fish he ever caught, and he said, I can't remember.
It was big. It was a rainbow trout, though, he said.
It was huge. Caught so many, they all run together. But great stories.
You know, Bacher likes Notre Dame athletics, and he likes the movie Rudy as a result of that as well. To first, and that's in to right field for a base hit. I've seen a lot of balls going the other way.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this Montana team, they came out swinging early. They didn't have a lot to show for it, but they are very aggressive at the plate and not afraid to swing that bat. Just lets that ball travel. Another good swing, just throwing your hands on it. It's a bullet to right field. Love to see kids be able to go the other way. Use that line to line. A lot of times, this says kids just want to pull the ball and try and hit home runs, but that ball from right field to left field, you're going to have a lot of success.
Xavier Brackenridge walked in the first, but then grounded out in the third. It's a key spot here for Montana, JT. They can create a little separation with one of their big bats at the plate.
And huge for Idaho. Try and keep that ball down and get yourself a ground ball. Trying to limit that damage. You're down by a run. Idaho with just 2 more at-bats.
And Jaquan Brackenridge.
It only takes one. See it from the hand.
Close. 2-2.
2-2. 2-2. Hey, we don't need home run. We need home run. Let's go 5. Confidence, kid. He got to come to you.
Up the middle, cut off, stepping on. Erickson throws to first. Got him. An inning-ending double play turned by the Idaho defense.
That's a great play. Pitcher's best friend. Just said, keep the ball down in the zone, get a ground ball. Great play there at shortstop. Cooper Erickson, 6'3". Keeps Idaho in this game. Take another look right here, real speed. Just gets on top. You're that close to the bag. Step on it. Get a fire over to first. That's an athlete.
Studio, let's check out the Midwest region earlier today. Des Moines, Iowa taking on Pittsburgh, Kansas. Blake Larson. That is a grand slam in the third inning to blow open a close game. 5-0 at that point. 14-0 Iowa wins. They'll play Minnesota tomorrow, Mark.
Chris, thanks. And we welcome you back to the Little League World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. This is a Northwest region matchup between Idaho and Montana. Right now it's a one-run lead for Billings, Montana. Winner of this game plays Saturday for the right to go to Williamsport. The loser season is not over. They play an elimination game tomorrow against Oregon. This is a 6-inning game. We move to the top of the 5th. Oh, the spud.
The rally spud.
Top of the order here for Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Avery Cherry has singled and scored, 1 for 2.
Got to make every at-bat count now if you're Idaho. Go up there and give a tough at-bat. Got to find a way to get on base. Get that tying run on the base path. Get that winning run to the plate. You got 6 outs left. You have to make every one of them count. Third time through the lineup. See Drew McDowell.
Look out. It's Avery on his back. Avery Cherry, one of 4 kids.
1-2.
His dad, Sean. His brother, Riley, who's 21 years old, is a catcher for the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy baseball team. Rainy beer as well.
Your dad's a little nervous?
A tad.
Just a bit. Always, it's hard to watch your son play.
Sean Cherry's originally from Rhode Island. That's why Avery is a Red Sox fan. Hot shot to short, and it's caught on the fly by Cooper Tyson.
Well, I know the result wasn't there, but that's a great at-bat.
A little bit too late, dude. You've got to start trusting me a little bit. All right, here. Actually, you did it pretty good in the last couple of pitches. All right, but just you're here.
Yeah, they got a Rosenbach out there now.
There we go. Dry those hands off.
This is Chris Reynolds. Enjoys the Adam Sandler movie, The Waterboy. His favorite baseball player for Chris Reynolds is Cody Bellinger, who actually played on this very field when he played in the West Regionals for Arizona back in the day. That's Scott Reynolds. Step on Hannah. Jennifer as well is here.
Go, Bob.
Tip foul at the plate.
Well, as Idaho's got to go up and have good quality bats on the other side, Drew McDowell's just got to continue to throw strikes. Trust your defense. Up to 70 pitches or 80 pitches. Looked like he was on the ropes there in that third inning. His last batter as he hits 80. Keep getting ahead of guys and keep throwing strikes.
The bat continues for Christopher Reynolds. Max per game 85. Which you can exceed that to complete a plate appearance for a batter. Billings, Montana's team wants to meet on the mound.
The advance, he will not be able to pitch.
Let's go, guys.
Yeah, as you saw, he's over 66, so 4 days rest that would easily take him past Saturday's game. But he's battled. I'm sure he'd be happy get a little rest and pitch at Williamsport.
They might get that ball game one if they can get there. Big pitch here, 2-2, 1 out.
Oh, rocket right back up the middle. And almost got a piece of the pitcher McDowell. And almost got a piece of a second base umpire Jeffrey Davis. That ball was well struck by Chris Reynolds for his second hit.
Ball was smoked right back through the middle. Second base hit for Reynolds on the day. Both singles to center field. Take a look at this one from the center field camera. Fastball belt high. Throw it down the middle. That's right where he hit it. Right back through the middle.
First pitch, ball one to Cooper Smith. We mentioned Cooper right at the top of the show. He's the young guy that visited Williamsport last year in the Little League World Series just as a fan, because he said, I want to experience it in case we go as a team next year. I want to be prepared.
Yeah, I don't want to be nervous.
Comes his 85th pitch, so this will be the final batter he faces. That's bounced out to second, out there. That'll be the lone play. Erbacher to Tyson, 2 outs. And now they'll make the pitching change. Cooper Smith was talking about Williamsport earlier today.
Hello, my name is Cooper Smith, and last year I went to Williamsport, Pennsylvania to see those awesome fields. And hopefully this year our team goes there so I can see it again and our whole team can see it this time.
You may get that chance. Cooper loved the specs, by the way.
Let him come around here.
Hitting goggles, that's what we call them.
Couple of looks at the fields. Williamsport, Comedy Stadium, Volunteer Stadium. It is the true field of dreams.
Tell you what, that ballpark looks better than some of the big league parks I played in back in the day.
That's going to be all for Drew McDowell. So as Montana makes a pitch and change, we will step aside and come back with more from San Bernardino after this short timeout. Fine effort by Drew McDowell as the starting pitcher for Montana today.
Pretty good line. He was on the ropes there in the third inning. Idaho had scored a couple runs off him, but he righted the ship, settled down. 85 pitches, 53 for strikes, and here's a look at the new Montana pitcher, Cooper Freitag. Coach said he would be in the game first as a first reliever today, and he is. He's got a good fastball. He's over the top, downhill fastball, and he's got a little breaking pitch. And then the coaches said he throws a circle something. They're not quite sure what it is. They were kind of laughing about it. It's like a changeup, but.
Well, during the pitching change, this was the conversation.
Pitch like it was the most important game of your life, dude. That was awesome. Tell your catcher thank you. It's hot out here.
Good job,
Pitched like it was the most important game of his young life.
Good stuff. I could have said thank the catcher. What? This guy's behind the plate with that gear on this 100-degree weather. Don't get a lot of air time, but they are working hard back there.
Freitag pours in a strike. Kyle Seaman batting here.
Got to fight him 1-2, 2 outs. Got to try and put that ball in play somewhere, somehow.
Seaman family rooting on their son. Popped up to the right side. Ubacher makes the catch to retire the side. Midpoint of the 5th. Montana 3 and Idaho 2.
There's nothing better. There's summer forever. Summer forever.
Back here in San Bernardino, let's take a look at our Honda game summaries. Scoreless through the first two in this Northwest Region matchup. Each team scored in the third, and we've not had any scoring since. Montana by a run. Kyle Seaman stays in the game, takes over in right field for Idaho.
Step back, guys. We're ready, all right.
Montana comes up bottom of the 5th. They know they're going to take at least a 1-run lead to the 6th.
Can't hear him up here.
So in the 4-hole.
You go to the scores table to sort everything out.
We can hear anything out here. All right.
Number 33, Nick Schneider. When I say snap, you say time, snap.
Reynolds is now at shortstop for Idaho. Erickson, who was at short, has gone into center field. And we're going to have a pinch hitter, new batter, first at bat for Nick Schneider. Nick leading off for Montana, home half of the 5th. Now the Schneider crew, Dad Nick, Mom Katie, who's a preschool teacher, brother Owen, sister Sarah Beth. Out to short. Reynolds, who's the new shortstop, to first, 1 out. Let's check in with the studio and Chris Cotter.
Okay, Mark, JT, just a reminder, coming up next, Jake Schweitzer not only plays shortstop for Kentucky, but is a heck of a pitcher. Louisville, Kentucky, and New Albany, Ohio, coming up next here, guys.
Appreciate that, Chris. Here in San Bernardino, bottom of the 5th. 1 out. Freitag, who's the pitcher now for Montana's coming up to bat.
Braden Newby here, the pitcher for Idaho. Down by a run, you got to get your team back in that dugout. Just keeping it at a 1-run game. Now throw strikes, got that first out. Nice little ground ball, 6-3. Give your team a shot. In the top of the 6th, only down by 1.
Freitag, a 12-year-old. Says he wants to be the CEO of an electronics company. Said that is very specific for somebody that's just 12 years old, but you got it pretty well mapped out, huh?
Pretty impressive.
Special talent he also has. He likes to draw landscapes and wilderness scenes, something that you can certainly do living in Montana. Reed once again, Sister Quinn. Inside corner, strike 2-1.
2-1.
And if you're the Montana team, you want to keep adding on, keep having good at bats, try and get some base runners, try and extend this lead.
Ruby again hits that inside corner.
I'm very impressed with both of these teams. We're here in the bottom of the 5th. There's been no errors in the game. Only 5 runs on 12 hits. Play clean baseball, very well coached, both these teams. Very fundamentally sound. They swing the bats, they throw strikes. really fun game to watch.
That is ball 4. Well, you can catch all the excitement of the Little League World Series, including how to visit Williamsport, scores, stats, highlights, and more. Visit littleleague.org and follow along on social media with hashtag LLWS.
Awesome, way to go. Chris Erickson.
Idaho will make some changes.
You know what to do. Live low, have fun.
Live low, have fun. That sounds like a t-shirt right there. Kyle Seaman's going to be the new pitcher. Well, all the scoring in this game came in the 3rd inning. It was scoreless until Idaho put a 2-spot up in the 3rd. Began with a wild pitch and scored the first run. Then this bunt play from Austin DeBoer. Nice base running. Jerry came in to score. Made it 2-zip. Then in the next bottom half of the frame, a 3-spot. Josh Sears, 2-run base hit, got past DeBoer. That tied the game. And then Jacob Wilcox, an RBI double, scored Sears. That made it a 3-2 game, and along with JT Snow, I'm Mark Neely. You just mentioned it's been a clean game, well coached. It's just been really good Little League baseball.
Big hits, you know, key pitches. Pitchers have both been throwing strikes, and hats off to the hitters. Come out very aggressive. We've seen some good plays on defense, some double plays turned. Like I said, we're here in the bottom of the 5th. There's been no errors in this game. 12 hits on 5 runs. 2 very well coached teams. Playing baseball the way it should be played.
Mason Brasso is completing his at-bat, which will complete mandatory play for Montana. Foul towards first.
Thank you. You really got the feeling in that 3rd inning that Idaho was going to take off and put a couple more runs and had a chance to open this thing up. But I'll tell you what, Montana comes back in that 3rd. Kind of out of nowhere with 2 outs. 2 outs, there was 2 walks, then 2 doubles.
1-2 pitch to Mason Brasso. Gets out of play.
Look ahead to the Idaho top of the 6th inning. They're going to have the 5, 6, 7 hitters up.
Back towards the mound, past Seaman, the shortstop. He might have had his foot on the bag when he scooped that up. That would have been a force out.
Yeah, it's a tough play because he's not quite sure if it's going to get through the pitcher. It does, and then the ball's right by the bag. Wasn't quite sure whether to catch it and go to first or catch it, try and step on second. A lot of things going through his head right here. It's pretty close. I think his right foot is just off the bag.
Yeah, tough to tell, but you're right. The foot may not have been on the base.
Tell you what, there's a lot of stuff happening right here. And he knows right there that it was off. He tried to go back.
Nick Schneider batting for Montana.
I could understand
Wilcox, pardon me.
The wheels turning in his head at short there. He's thinking about getting 2. You can just get this step on the bag and get a throw on the first base, but you got to remember, you got to get 1 before you get 2. Now they didn't get anybody, so another big at bat here for Montana.
Wilcox has a couple of hits today. That bounces up to the third baseman, Simmons, and it's thrown into right field. Freitag scores. 4-2 Montana. Here's the first error of the game.
Well, that one's on me because I jinxed him talking about no errors, but good play going to second base. Second baseman was just a little bit late getting over, and that made the third baseman hesitate, drop his arm, and sailed into right field. That's why it's so important late in games when you're on defense. You've got to know what to do with the ball, and every player has a place to go on every play. He could have easily fielded that and stepped on third, but with one out, his momentum was taking him towards second base.
Popped up off the bat of Caleb Anderson. Cooper Smith makes the catch. He's playing foul territory. Only second out.
Pretty good play here. Keep that concentration. That ball is always going to tail back towards the field. Coming off the bat of a right-hander going down that first baseline. Plus the wind's blowing out here now. A little breeze blowing out to left field.
Cade Vatnsdahl. He takes a strike. We call him Pop Gun. The name Vatnsdahl, I asked Cade yesterday, so what's the heritage of your family name? He says, we're from Iceland originally. And he's ice cold with a base hit into left field. Bobbled a bit in left by Schwarzer, and here comes another run home. Brazzo scores the second run of the inning, and it's 5-2 Montana.
Tell you what, how about the job that this Montana team has done at the bottom of the order? 6, 7, 8, 9 hitters. 6 hits between them. Short, quick swing. Just hang a line drive out to left field. Another little miscue by Idaho in left field, not coming up with it cleanly.
Tap to left field. Kyle.
Good catch.
They say that is caught in fair territory as he stumbled into foul ground. Schwarzer.
It's 2 outs, right?
And they tag. Yeah, that's. That was the third out. Yeah,
that's the third out.
And everybody on the field for some reason is thinking that was not the third out.
3 outs. 3 outs. Playing 3 today, guys.
Everybody lost track.
3 outs. He caught it. It was 3 outs.
Understand?
Yes, that was the case.
We have 3 outs, correct?
Yes.
Not sure why there's so much confusion on the field.
Ground ball to short, pop up to first, and a fly ball to left. 3 outs.
We have played 5. Last chance for Idaho coming up.
The Little League World Series on ESPN is presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's.
Welcome back to the Little League World Series on ESPN, presented by Dick's Sporting Goods. Look at the Northwest Region bracket. The winner of this game between Idaho and Montana plays in the championship game Saturday for the right to go to Williamsport. The loser's not finished. They'll play tomorrow, an elimination game against Oregon at 3 Eastern, noon Pacific here on ESPN. Last chance, though, here for Idaho. Top of the 6th. Wow.
Montana, 45.
5, 6, and 7 part of the order coming up for Idaho. Sports Center tonight coming up after the Little League World Series West semifinal with Kevin Connors and Zubin Mehenti. Full recaps from the debuts of Baker Mayfield and Saquon Barkley, plus the latest on Deshaun Watson and Ryan Tannehill, and of course top plays from the Little League World Series. Sports Center, 11 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. The number 1 play on Sports Center last night came from here, Northwest region. A great catch out in center field. Families are fired up,
trying to rally the troops.
Stay here, stay here, stay here.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Coeur d'Alene, Little League. Mason Boulder, Arrowhead, Little League of Billings, Montana. They're saying CDA for Coeur d'Alene. If you're not sure how to spell Coeur d'Alene, Google that.
Yeah, look it up.
It's not like it sounds.
Ball.
Chase Saunders. He's hit by pitch in the third. That had been his lone plate appearance.
Well, if you're Idaho, it's all about base runners. Might not be a bad time to go up and take a strike. See if you can get some base runners.
It's going to get out of play, or at least
Pitcher.
out of reach.
Pitcher. Pitcher.
Vatnsdal, the right fielder.
Pitcher.
Goes pitch, 3-2. Idaho needs a couple of base runners to have a chance. This is their final opportunity, top of the sixth. 3-2 to Chase Saunders. To the right side, the second baseman throws to the... Well, he wanted the pitcher covering, but Jenkins came back to cover the bag. That'll be a base hit, and Idaho does get the lead runner on.
Well, that's what you want, and that's how it starts. Getting that leadoff man on. Father and son over there at first base. There's a lot of action going on. First baseman goes for it, can't get it. Once you realize you can't get it as a first baseman, you have to get out of the way and let that pitcher take it because he's on the bag and you're backpedaling. So as a first baseman, a good job to try and go get it. But once you don't, just keep following through with the play and take yourself out of the play. Trust that that pitcher's going to get over, which he did.
Braden Newby, the shortstop, who's also pitched today. To first. That's scooped up. Going the hard way to second. Tyson's return throw to Jenkins. Not in time. They do get the lead runner.
Good play. Another hard hit ball. But right now for Montana, it's all about getting outs. You'll give up bases for outs. Taking a look, a hot smash down to first base, does a nice job. Getting a good throw down there to the shortstop, getting an out. It's all about getting outs now. You got to get 2 more outs.
Jake Dannenberg to third. That's a fair ball down the line and left. Grasso fires to third. Down to second goes Dannenberg, Newby to third, and now Idaho's got something going. They're going to get the tying run to the plate with only 1 out.
Good job of base running there. Time! Kyle Seaman, the ball down the line. Another hard hit ball. Gets that barrel inside and beats him to the spot with a little clap. Good job of base running right here at second base. You watch the left fielder come over, and you know he's right-handed, so he's got to get turned all the way around. Picking up an extra 60 feet. What you want. You got to get that tying run to the plate.
It's the rally spud.
Once again here at your Montana, you take an out for a base. No matter where it's hit, get an out. If it's on the infield, if you're in the outfield, you make sure you throw to the right base and keep that batter, if he does get on, off of second base and out of scoring position.
Strike on the inside corner to A.J. Curry. Quickly 0-2. Freitag gets ahead. Dad Steve Curry, Mom Pauline, who's a Spanish teacher at Lake City High School.
White line of the left-handed batter's box. So we're going to get him to chase. Here's outside. Benny and Carson. He's going to hit your ground ball your way. He's going to take the out at 1. These 2 guys don't mean anything, okay? go outside on the white line, and then we're going to bust him in on the hands if he doesn't swing it back. Okay? Let's go, Coop.
Love how he said that. 2 runs on base don't mean anything. He's exactly right. You're going to go away in that left-handed batter's box just off the plate. If he doesn't bite at it, come right back in on the hands. And if you're the hitter, you got to put this ball in play.
Step out a second.
2 strikes be a tough out. If you're a runner on third, you better be 100% sure you can score on any pass ball. Your run means nothing. And he's on second and third with 1 out.
Strike 3 call on the outside corner. It's Coeur looking.
It was a perfect 0-2 pitch. Look at the catcher sets. Might have been off just a hair. As a hitter, I can't blame him for not swinging at that. It looked like it was off the plate. Comes back a little bit.
Idaho down to their final out. Caden Simmons is the batter.
Go batter.
You're on the infield. You just go across the first base with 2 outs. So don't worry about the runners on base.
Ball.
You're in the outfield. You come up and you hit your cutoff man. Get that ball back to the infield as soon as you can. Keep that batter off second base.
To short, Cooper Tyson. And Montana will play another day. They move to the Northwest Region Championship game on Saturday.
Well, a pretty good ball game, with the exception of a couple hiccups that last inning on defense by Idaho, but well played. Tip of the cap to Montana, down 2-0 in the 3rd inning. They came back and rallied for 3. A very aggressive offensive team, and they get a bye and will play on Saturday.
Idaho's still alive. They'll play tomorrow against Oregon in an elimination game. For JT Snow and our entire crew, I'm Mark Neely. Montana wins. It's so long from San Bern.